Are we trying to get in the picture, Ross?
No.
Good afternoon. It's 12:30 and it's time for the Legal Finance Committee, February 14th, 2024. It's some kind of a special date, I don't know. But we'll begin today with a roll call and determination of quorum.
Beaverdorf?
Present.
Maher?
Here.
Pettigrew?
Here.
Secret?
Here.
Strome?
Here. Next item is adoption of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Motion by Sechrest, second by Bieberdorf. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. This is a time for general public comment, a time for the members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the council on any issue not on the agenda. Action will not be taken at the meeting on any issue not on the agenda, except by placement on the agenda by unanimous vote of the council members present. I don't have any speaker request forms. I don't see anybody looking to speak on general public comment, so I'm going to close general public comment. Now we'll go to consent items 1 through 12, and I'm going to open public comment on consent items 1 through 12. Again, having no speaker request forms, I'm going to close public comment on consent items 1 through 12. At this time, I'm going to ask if any members of the committee want to pull any of the consent items for discussion, or if we'll just go right into the discussion. Hearing none, we'll begin with approval of the minutes for January 31, 2024. Motion by Bieberdorf, second by Sechrest to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item is number 2, Mayor's Office. I don't know who's going to address that. No one? Okay, we'll just pass up on that one. Go to the City Attorney's Office. Mr. Landine? Oh, Ms. Cushman?
Okay, there we go. This is a resolution that would declare a surplus one property that's along Catron Boulevard and Sheridan Lake Road, and it would appoint a board of freeholders to value that property as well as another property that was surplus some time ago. The surplus statutes are really kind of rigid in terms of how we deal with this, and instead of getting appraisal, we're going to appoint a board of freeholders on which Councilman Maher has willingly agreed to participate to value the property and then dispose of it.
Any questions from council? Okay, we'll take a motion on this item.
Move to approve item 1 and 2.
2 and 3.
Oh,
Okay,
2 and
motion by Sechrest, second by Maher to approve 2 and 3. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Go to Finance Department. Mr. Ainsley, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first item is just, again, acknowledging several volunteers that we will have listed under our workman's compensation policy. Number 5 is a resolution to recoup expenses that the city has incurred to abate several different properties. I believe there's a fairly significant description included in the packet if there are any questions. And then lastly is also a property tax abatement of $554.06. That is for one parcel that the city purchased as well as one property that the federal government purchased. Are there any questions?
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion on 4 through 6. Motion by Bieberdorf, second by Sechrest. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Parks and Recreation, go to Director Biegler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This item is asking for your authorization to sign an agreement for food and beverage concession services at Meadowbrook Golf Course. Platinum Restaurant Group is also known as Marco's Pizza. This is the company that has had the agreement out there for 2 previous 5-year terms. And the terms and conditions are listed within the document. Any questions?
Any questions? No questions? Motion by Bieberdorf,
Second.
second by Sechrist to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries barely. Good.
A little more enthusiasm.
Go to IT. Jim?
This is a agreement we're going to enter with FAR Technologies to create a plan and a budget for extending our fiber network to as many city buildings as possible, using a combination of pre-existing conduit and other resources that we hope to have a multi-year project, probably a 10-year project, that we will pay for out of our CIP and other funds, maybe some grants, but ultimately what we're really trying to do is tie our buildings together to save the about $12,000 a month we spend on ISP usage right now to send the ones and zeros down the little glass strands. So.
Any questions for Mr. Gilbert? I have a quick question. Where's this FAR Technologies from?
They're from Sioux Falls.
That's what I thought. I read that
Yeah,
somewhere.
you might have, they had some stuff recently in the news. They're involved in the 385 project. They work extensively with Midco, SDN, all the ISPs in the state and in North Dakota as well.
Okay. Motion by Bieberdorf,
Second.
second by Sechrist to approve number 8. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 9 and 10 will go to the police department.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So both of these items here are from a South Dakota Highway Safety Grant. They were originally approved through the council back in May of 2023 for us to apply for the grant. We've been awarded for that. Neither item has been budgeted, but obviously we'll go through the process to get reimbursed through the grant when that occurs. The first one, the speed zone, the school zone speed signs. We worked with the school district and we identified 10 areas where we'd like to put up these signs, and it is a sign just below the speed limit sign, typically 15, 25 miles an hour in the school zone, and then underneath that would be a digital display of the car that's approaching and their speed. It's to encourage slower speeds, more safety, and promote traffic and pedestrian safety as well. And moving to number 10, it's the same grant, just different items. Currently, we have 34 patrol cars that have outdated equipment as far as measuring speed. The radar units are roughly 8 years old. They're expensive to maintain, and they're no longer supported by the company. And so we're looking to replace those units and with more up-to-date units that are more user-friendly, and that's what we're looking to spend it on. Any
Okay.
questions?
Any questions for Captain Siegel? I have one quick question on the in-car radars.
Yes.
Do those run like front and back then, so you don't have to be facing the officer to have them shoot you, or with the radar?
So we have units, the front and back of every vehicle, and that allows us to measure speed going away from us in both directions and coming towards us in both directions. While we also need to know the measurement or have the measurement of the speed of the patrol car, and then subtract that from
Okay.
the cone that goes out.
So that is a significant upgrade, isn't it? I mean,
So we currently have that ability with our current stuff. The technology has improved in the past 8 years. There's a lot of technology that I can go into, but these units have two cones that spread out and collect the data and give us our display reading. But at the same time, our officers have to be educated and trained on how to read that information, because numbers will bounce around, and we have to be able to read that and know that that vehicle, in a sea of vehicles coming at us, we need to know that that vehicle is the one that's being displayed on the readout unit. And so these new units will will not be error-free. We'll still have to have that training, but it will allow us to be more accurate.
Great, thank you. Anything else from the podium?
Move to approve.
9 and 10? Okay, motion by Sechrist, second by Maher to approve 9 and 10. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Go to the fire department for number 11.
Thank you. What we have on here this week is mutual aid agreement with us and Ellsworth Air Force Base, allowing us to provide fire suppression resources and personnel back and forth if each department would need.
Okay, any questions for? Motion by Bieberdorf, second by Maher to approve number 11. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Do we have someone from the Youth City Council to speak today? Let's just go through on consent, or?
Do you want me to speak to this? Is there a
Sure.
microphone?
Okay. Go to Councilwoman Sechrist.
Thank you, Chair. I can speak to this item as the liaison to Youth City Council. This item was brought forward, it's a bylaw revision brought forward by Youth City Council through their executive board at the recommendation of the members currently serving on Youth City Council. And it just includes a one paragraph addition that requires all members serving on Youth City Council to attend at least one advisory committee meeting or volunteer commitment throughout the month. As their liaison to Youth City Council, I encourage them to consider not putting too much of an expectation on themselves as a youth leader in our community, and just making sure that they're taking care of themselves. And they kept it to this short and sweet addition. So if you have any questions, thanks.
Are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll consider a motion. Motion to approve by Sechrist and second by Bieberdorf. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to the end of the consent calendar. And I'm going to open public comment on the non-consent items. And seeing no speaker request forms or any speakers, I'm going to close public comment on non-consent items and go to number 13, which is the Finance Department's introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6603, an ordinance regarding supplemental appropriation number 2 for 2024, and go to Director Ainsley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The items within the supplemental appropriation are largely just carryovers for projects or activities that began last year but were not completed last year. That includes our comprehensive plan as well as transportation planning. And in addition to that, we do have some reclassifying of a couple of different expenses into more appropriate line items. And then lastly, there is 360-some thousand that is for the EPA grant for some expenses that are going to be coming out of that. That was not included at the time of the budget adoption because we had not received the grant yet. Now that we have, and we're starting to get at expenses, we need to include that in the budget. The total amount is $221,290 in undesignated cash from our general fund. Again, all of that is for projects that began last year that were not completed. And then $737,000 of other general fund obligations, but those are largely going to be covered via grants. Are there any questions?
I'm seeing no questions. No one's in the queue. Motion by Bieberdorf. Second by Maher to approve number 13. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Last item is number 14, Public Works, second reading and recommendation of ordinance number 6599, an ordinance to revise the renewal date of sewer water and trenching licenses by amending section 13.24.04 capital B of the Rapid City Municipal Code, and go to Director Tech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Once again, second reading on this item. It is purely just to change the renewal date to better align with the state permitting dates that the trenching contractors have to abide by too, making it more user-friendly for them to renew both their city permit or city license as well as their state license at the same time.
Thank you. Any questions? Motion by Bieberdorf, second by Maher to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That brings us to the end. I have some Alderman items. Anybody have anything they want to bring up? Motion to adjourn by Bieberdorf. Second by Maher. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.